Howdy y'all, and welcome back to the Anime Field Guide. This is my podcast where I talk about anime and related topics and the fine folks who made it possible. Like always, I'm your host, Dave, and today I'm joined by my good friend, Joe, and we are celebrating. Hey! Welcome back to the show.
It's been a minute. Now go ahead and finish your rant. I was just throwing in a hey.
Oh, we haven't even... there's no ranting here.
Okay. I'm doing great.
Oh, you're doing fantastic. Yeah, we're keeping that. So
Awesome.
we are celebrating the first year of the Anime Field Guide. I introduced my good buddy Joe to Ghost in the Shell. So it was, of course, my favorite anime movie, and I love this film, the Mamoru Oshii and everything. You were my first guest on the Anime Field Guide, so I was like, what better person to ask to experience another, jump them into anime, jump them into my favorite franchise of all time. So I'm super excited to talk about this film.
I'm surprised you had us do the live action version, though.
What do you mean?
Like, no, seriously, yeah. Yeah, we watched the live action movie ironically, right?
When did I say... Wait.
You said Ghost in the Shell.
I did say Ghost in the Shell. There's only one Ghost in the Shell.
No, I Googled. Yeah, the one with Scarlett Johansson, man. Yeah. Ghost in the Shell.
No.
What?
Please tell me you...
What?
Wait. Wait.
Hold on.
So when I said we're going to go watch Ghost in the Shell...
Yeah.
You said... Oh, boy.
You're talking about the one in 95?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one that matters.
Oh.
You haven't seen that one before?
I've never watched that.
Have you seen... okay. Have you seen anything Ghost in the Shell... have you seen any other phone movies, the TV show, or...
No, literally just watched that 2017 movie by DreamWorks, of all people. What?
Oh, God, last time
it's good, right?
Look, I prepped an entirely different episode. Look, the last time I watched that one was in the theater.
Oh.
You're telling... Okay, hold on. Okay, I can fix this. Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I had to pay how much to rent this movie?
2 hours later.
Okay. So.
Okay. I'm back. God,
Okay.
it's been a while. I completely blanked on that movie. We're really doing this.
Yeah, I guess we are. I mean, your show. Are we doing this?
I guess, last year I launched this thing April 1st, ironically, I never thought I'd actually be doing, I April Fool's myself. All right.
Look at you.
Look at me, how far we've come across. You think I'd know better across 2 shows, 2 years.
Oh,
never, yeah. Okay, we're doing this.
You've known me long enough to know something like this would happen. I mean, specifics, man. I will put that in the... I will link you the movie next time when we do this. I will send you direct download. I will mail you the Blu-ray next time. That might just work.
All right.
But hey, we'll make a show out of this. It's okay.
Happy April Fools, everybody. So, yes, we are indeed talking about the live-action Ghost in the Shell, directed by Rupert Sanders and starring Scarlett Johansson. You did mention the DreamWorks connection first off, because, of course...
Okay, so...
lay it on me.
Jokes aside, this is actually my first experience of anything Ghost in the Shell, and I know I've needed to correct that. And yeah, I know there's some infamy with this movie, and now I know why. But, that DreamWorks, that was a blindside hitting play on the movie 5 minutes in, just going, oh no, that cannot be a good sign.
Why did the DreamWorks logo give you a sinking feeling? Did you think it was like DreamWorks animation or something?
I had no idea. I think DreamWorks, it's Shrek people. Okay. I have not seen a ton of DreamWorks track record, but it's like, oh, okay, this is the people that made Shrek and they did this. This isn't the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, it was a couple of companies. As you can see, all of the different logos and people that worked on this. This movie was in production it was in pre-production for a while. But I can actually explain the DreamWorks connection. If we go back...
Okay, go for it, because, that confused me.
back in the day, we had the 1995 movie Ghost in the Shell, and that did very well. And so naturally, a few years later, they said, we want to make a sequel. But the animation studio decided, well, we're going to go like international with this. We're going to go big. And so Production IG, the animation studio, they pitched the sequel to Ghost in the Shell directly to Hollywood. Like the director and president of the company literally flew out to Hollywood. And long story short, they got a lot of Hollywood money into the movie. So DreamWorks helped distribute the anime film Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence back in the day, in about around 2004.
Oh, like the actual sequel.
Yeah, the actual sequel. Yeah, there is an actual sequel to the 1995 film.
No, I did see that because I did do a Google before we hit record, actually, so I'm not like a complete babbling idiot. But I was like, oh, there's a sequel. So DreamWorks did the actual legit sequel.
Well, they did not produce the sequel. They helped distribute it. So this was like a...
Oh, okay, they're distribution.
Yeah,
okay.
So they have a subcontract... Well, not a subcontract. They have a sub-company called Go Fish. And so Go Fish did a number of anime films. So Ghost in the Shell was one of them. There's another film I'm looking at right now, Millennium Actress by director Satoshi Kon. But anyways, DreamWorks, they got the rights to produce a live-action movie version of Ghost in the Shell. They got the live-action Hollywood like movie rights in 2008.
Whoa.
And so it was announced that they got the rights. They said, okay, we're working on this. We got this writer. And then about a year later, that writer got replaced by another writer. We got a couple updates, and then that writer got replaced by another writer. And there's
good times.
There's about 2 folks credited. Also, the manga artist or the original mangaka Masamune Shiro is credited for it. But I don't think he really had much. Like, I think that his writing credit is like the original creator. So there's like about 7 writers on this thing through the years. But it wasn't until about 2014, about 6 years later, Rupert Sanders was announced as the director. And at that time, his entire catalog was his movie in 2012, which was Snow White and the Huntsman, which is, that film was like the definition of mixed reviews. Like I saw it on the TV one time before 2017, and it's like, okay, this has a lot of ideas and a lot of moving parts, and they don't quite assemble well, but the vision's there.
Yeah, I remember. It looked like a little off the wall, had some ideas, but yeah, I don't feel like I'd ever landed on anything.
Yeah, it was just kind of there. And so that was 2014, and then he ended up being the actual movie director. They didn't like change directors a bunch. And then about in 2015, we started to get all the casting calls. So yeah, Scarlett Johansson as the major, I'm probably going to pronounce this guy wrong, but Pilo Asbæk, Danish actor. So he got to be her second in command, Bato. So he's better known. Like I've seen like Game of Thrones Foundation on Apple TV, Pontius Pilate and Ben-Hur.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he has some stuff. Yeah.
We got Beat Takeshi Kitano as, Section Chief Aramaki, very much Japanese actor. Like he didn't speak a single line of English in the movie.
No.
Chin Han, he's in a bunch of movies. They got him to be Togusa. So Togusa is supposed to be like the one of the detectives of the group. And then Juliette Binoche, I think I said that right. Juliette is in this movie as the Dr. Oulette. Peter Ferdinando as Cutter. So he was actually the Black Knight in Snow White and the Huntsman. And he's got a couple of other things. But again, I'm just listing off names. Michael Pitt as Kuze, another one of the antagonists in the movie. Actually, before this movie started, there was actually a bit of a casting controversy with 2 characters.
Who?
There are 2 guys called Pazu and Borma. Do you remember a guy named Borma in this movie?
Nope.
He gets one scene.
What scene? What? Okay.
There's one scene where they're like, Borma, go do this. He's like, righto, and he walks in and walks off the screen.
Cool.
So like ostensibly these are all like the anime and the manga and everything is like a Japanese characters. So Borma and Pazu were both race and gender swapped. Borma is acted by Tawanda Manyamo, and solid catalog with him. And then Pazu was just a race entirely. He was renamed as Ledria, and he was played by London actress of Kurdish and Polish descent, Danusia Samal. And these poor folks got all kinds of flack from just, you typically see like a character goes, oh no, it's a black man now. Oh no, it's a...
Yeah.
All just the complete just made up crap. And so like that was kind of the atmosphere going into this. And then just kind of like, what the hell is Rupert Sanders going to do? But I remember, Peter Jackson with like Lord of the Rings, like, what the hell is Peter Jackson going to do? He sure showed us.
Dave, this was something.
It is a movie. So
yeah. What am I missing of like? Okay, I hardly even know where to begin.
Let's just start at the beginning. I'll fill in as we go. I want to back up.
Please do, because I'm so curious.
Yes, as you were, what were your first thoughts, at least, like when you were watching this movie and it's showing, like, actually, I want to ask you, like, what did you think of, like, the shelling sequence when the robot body is being built? What was kind of going through your head at this moment?
Yeah, because I went in so dark. I was just like, okay, it's like, oh, we put a human brain in a full machine. I'm like, okay, yep, got it. So any cyberpunk futuristic scenario has been playing out for years now. So I'm like, okay, this is nothing new to me. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know this. And I thought it looked pretty well done. I mean, I was like, okay, yeah, it's like, synthetic machine. I was pretty impressed with it being done, if I'm remembering right. I say that, like, I watched this like 2 days ago, and I think I'm already, unfortunately, blocking out so much of it.
I watched it yesterday.
But I don't remember being like, I don't remember going, oh, this looks like poo-poo.
No, I will say, if there is, but before I start just tearing this thing apart, they really did a good job with the practical effects. Because one thing I will credit with Rupert is he wanted practical effects like as much as possible. So these are actual models, and they like this is Weta Workshop got in on this.
That's impressive.
And so like the geisha robots and all the different tech and the guns, and again, like the cybernetic bodies, and Scarlett's shell, as it's called, her robot body is the shell.
Yeah, you could tell when this movie switched to CG.
Very obviously, yes.
It's obvious. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't really think about the fact of how much probably was practical. I take for granted now of like CGI visual effects have become a long way. And unless you have a trained eye, you're not going to always tell. This is 2017. We weren't right there yet. If a vast majority is practical, that is pretty damn impressive. I'll admit that.
Yeah, and at the very least, it got a lot of cool YouTube videos with Adam Savage from Mythbusters getting to tour the workshop. And so all of the, like, there's a video for how did they make the thermoptic suit, the invisible suit that Scarlett wears. How did they make the geisha robots? And like all the different tech and thing that they, if you really want to, from like a design standpoint, I will say like this is one of the strengths of the film. And that's about.
Yeah, it took a glance, like, little peek behind the curtain. Yeah, you sent me a video earlier today. I did check out some of it, and it was on the geisha robots. And I was like, holy cow, there was a lot of detail in these things that I'm like, just took for granted at the time. But yeah, taking apart, looking at, and just seeing how much hard work, how much craftsmanship went into this, I was like, all right, yeah, that's actually kind of sweet.
So I want to ask you first here. So as we're at the beginning of the movie, we're seeing this brain being put in a case, and now someone's on the operating table. I want to ask you, how quickly did you figure out who the bad guys were?
The second I saw a company logo on the side of the brain, like immediately it was like, oh yeah, obviously this is not going to be above board. Okay, done right. It's clearly evil corporation do bad things to relatively innocent people. It was like, without a doubt, like 5 seconds in, we have a terrible hacker. No. No. Read it like an open book.
Yeah, as soon as she starts talking to the doctors, like, do you remember anything? And the fact that they show her on the operating table first was like, okay, yeah, that is, and I'm not, there's too much, I don't want it to go like the compare, like contrast, because there's too much to contrast, but.
Give me highlights at least, because I'm definitely curious. I'm foaming.
Technically, the origin was, where to even begin? All right. So Ghost in the Shell, well, actually, I'll ask you another question, because this is also kind of important.
Okay.
Did you ever figure out what Section 9 does?
No, that was so infuriatingly confusing. I'm like, what is your point? Just do they hunt down hackers? I really have no clue what they do.
It's part of what they do, yeah.
Okay, hey, look at that.
What if I told you that the Major is actually one of the founders of Section 9.
Okay.
Not in this movie.
Yeah, I'm like, no, but okay, that makes more sense. Well, yeah, go.
Yeah, so the idea is, and I'm just going to pull from the manga, because the rest of the films and things kind of have it to be, in every other piece of media, so all in the anime, it's consistent with that. The Major and Aramaki and her team, so Bato, Togusa, Saito, and the rest, these guys are all ex-military. They were in the military. They served in World War III and or World War IV. I think they were all like World War IV veterans. And the Major is unique because as a child, this is important. As a child, her parents were in this severe accident. And so they extracted her brain from her, and she was basically like, her mother was like ready to pop any second. Like they were on their way to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
And so they couldn't rescue her parents, but they rescued this little girl's brain case. And so the Major is a character who all of her human components are essentially her brain and a little bit of brain stem in a fully cybernetic body. The rest of the shell squad, as it's called, the rest of these guys are varying degrees of cyborg, but no one is as heavily cyborg as the Major. And the Major is not a damn nickname. It's her rank. It's what her rank was in the military. So Motoko Kusanagi, that is her name. It's not Mira Killian, which they kind of address that in this movie as well. But basically, these guys are all ex-military, and Aramaki is more like the political wheeling and dealing in the background. He's the section chief. And essentially, Section 9 is a specialized task force that is a counter-terrorism unit. It's their job to hackers and the rest who threaten national security, foreign and domestic.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Ghost in the Shell, as and of itself, is, or at least the TV series, basically plays out like a police procedural. And if you think of like an overarching, at least the main TV series is like an overarching thing. Because in the movies, it's more of, you kind of get the idea that Section 9 is they are part of the government. And so, but they do sometimes run Black Ops missions. So that's when, like, if you're in the 2017 movie and Aramaki's going to telling Cutter, hey, if you keep being a bad boy, I'm going to go tell the Prime Minister.
Yeah, the whole time.
Section 9 is basically under the purview of the Prime Minister.
Okay.
Which is never relevant to this film. They just kind of drop that line once or twice.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, does that have significance?
Yeah, so ostensibly, this is a specialized police force. There's about 7 of them, and they all have their different parts to play. But mainly, it typically follows the Major. Bato is her second in command, and he is the muscle guy. His eyes are already like that, because Bato's unit is called the Rangers. Bato is Green Berets, is essentially what he is.
Yeah, you got that, aren't you?
He did not lose his eyes in an accident. That was a procedure to be as part of the Rangers. But all the functions are still there. So yes, he does have X-ray vision and all the rest.
Okay.
And he does get his eyes hacked semi-regularly.
Yeah, no surprise. Because I was like, these eyes look rough in this movie, and I'm like, I'm sure it's not as bad, but yeah,
there's still very obviously like cyborg eyes in the cartoons, but they are much better. Like they gave him like itty bitty eyes.
Yeah, they're
you couldn't have done like
tiny.
Swimming goggles.
Yeah, well, I mean, just scale them up a little bit. It's a real human face, man. Like, yeah, he gave him like iPhone cameras in his eyes. I'm like, okay, cool, great. Glad I'm looking at this for the rest of this movie.
And so Togusa is like the last main, or like not a main player, but like the last like big player, like of the tertiary. He is a former police detective. And so all of these other guys are ex-military. Togusa is the family man. He's got a family, wife and kids at home. Motoko specifically selected him because she's like, look, all of us are military folks. We think in one special way. You are here as the wild card. You are the one who looks at things in a unique way. So a lot of the times what Togusa brings to the table is, he will catch the blind spots. That's what he's there for.
Gotcha. See, this is what I wanted, because the first 5 minutes of this movie, it's like, hey, do you know who you are? No, freak out. Okay, 1 year hard cut later.
Just a hard cut.
I was like, okay, so they'll do a flashback. I'll get some No, I'm not getting context. Oh, surely this will wrap up towards the end. No, still nothing. Okay. Because I was just like blindsided. I'm like, am I supposed to care what's happening right now? Because I have zero context for why I was freaking out, and now I am cool and working for these people as the major. This, I got things to say, but and derail me if I'm jumping too far ahead a little bit on it. But like, this movie suffered so much from not having any form of a B plot. Like, it was just the main story of her the whole time, and it was never cut away to see what anyone else was doing. Nothing else existed in this world. It was so many times like, all right, we need to go track him down, and then next scene, all right, we tracked him down. It's like, oh, okay, that's a
lot of things just happen in this movie.
Yeah,
and they just like sometimes it feels like characters just frankly teleport, and so like,
yeah, it did.
And it's not like everything has to have like, oh, here's the establishing shot of where we are now.
No, it doesn't.
Or like, it's not like, it's just like, you know it when you know it. It's just a consistently jarring movie that all these little moments take me out of the action.
Well, yeah, it's no world building. It's just you're following this one person. You're dropped in their universe with zero context. And hey, hope you know what's going on, because we're not going to tell you.
So much of it is reliant on fan knowledge, but it's billing itself as you can jump in anytime you want. Because again, per the universe setup of this movie, she's been working for Section 9 maybe a year. I'd say less than a year, and yet she's somehow the central pillar of the unit.
Exactly. I'm like, okay.
Even when I was watching it and I was going, okay, so it's clearly showing us, like, there was the establishing shot of, okay, so this is a government building, Department of Defense. Cool. Because at first when I saw Section 9, I thought, wait, so are they just rebranding Section 9 as like a military arm of this corporation? Because that's
maybe
that's what I was at first led to believe in the movie theater. And you get an establishing shot of the Department of Defense, like, okay, cool, but you don't have any structure of like, how does the government function in this? So there's no other sections, like, 9, there are other sections, so like Section 6 is like the municipal police.
Yeah, what that's doing is telling you, hey, here's other things going on in the world, and is it directly related to the main story? No, but it gives you perspective. It makes it feel like, oh, real things are happening. For a 2-hour movie, this thing felt weirdly condensed for the amount of time I spent sitting there. It was like they tried to tell so much story with so little information that it made my head spin.
I want to ask, what did you think of? So there's a couple of things going on in tandem before I just go like, yeah, this movie is a pile of references. But because it starts off as like them having to track down this big hacker guy.
Yeah, it's a total of 5 minutes maybe, but yeah.
Well, it's kind of like they're through the film, because apparently it starts off like the investigation, as it were.
Yeah,
is we got this corporation. Yeah, we got this corporation full of scientists, and some unknown hacker is getting to these guys and killing off these scientists one by one. You start to get a little bit deeper into that, and like, oh no, corporation's evil. We had all of these people doing human experiments. And then at that point, I'm like, well, yeah, go Kuze. I'm completely on this guy's side. What do you mean I'm supposed to? What do you mean I'm supposed to be antagonistic towards this dude?
Who sides with the corporation in anything like this? It's just like, it's clearly he knows something.
At that point, it's like, okay, Harada is the whole corporation. Like, Cutter is just so Scooby-Doo cartoonishly evil.
Gosh,
there is no redemption for this guy. Like, as soon as you see him walk onto the screen, they were like, this guy better get a bullet to the head at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's just like, all right, how are we going to get here? Yep, clearly Kuze's bad? No, he's not. Okay, it's just, come on, let's get here already if we're going to get here. If you're going to be this heavy-handed in your storytelling, you don't need to drag me along for 45 minutes.
It really is a movie that's like, it's a bundle of references. So, but I mean, for some of them kind of work. Like, obviously, like the opening shot with her shooting up all the Yakuza guys is pretty cool.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Appropriate use of slow-mo. Yeah, there's appropriate use of slow-mo, which is not the case, I think, for some other parts of this movie.
Yeah, it was like, okay, these geisha bots look sweet. There's tons of stuff going on. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is action. Cool. I hope to see more of it. Okay. I hope to see more of it before only in the last 5 minutes. Oh, okay. That's cool. Just, you peaked early, guys. That's cool. It was just a movie filled with heavy storytelling that made no sense. And it was like, you could have thrown in some more action, potentially. I'm not familiar with the source material, but I'm going to assume nothing happens.
Well, yeah, because in the source material, you have rising action.
Yeah.
Inevitably, I mean, there are a couple of bits, like the one in the club scene. The fight out in the club scene is pretty cool.
Yeah, that and wherever she was chasing out whatever thug out in the middle of the water. I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's an iconic scene, but it's done again. It's from the first. So much of this is like making direct references to the first movie.
Yeah,
which I will have to say they did film when they were filming this. So the 1995 film, they were heavily inspired, like the atmosphere was heavily inspired by Hong Kong, the walled city of Kowloon, all of that claustrophobic stuff. So yes, when they were shooting some of these locations, they were straight up in like similar or the exact real life locations that inspired the animated movie. So that like the sequence of her chasing down the dude is interesting, but again, it's all done differently because in that version, Kuze is cyber hacking people, which I have to ask, like, did at any point, like, what did you think of like the concept of the whole cyber hacking, or like when she is doing the dive sequences? What did you think of, like, the representation of that?
Did you play Cyberpunk 2077?
A little bit, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, so this is what that game referenced. It was a lot of this stuff. It was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, the cyber hacking that makes garbage men spawn guns. That's interesting. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it ties into this, like, so much in this movie happens because the plot demands it, not because it makes so much logical sense. But at least in some instances, you can kind of infer that, okay, Kuze was hacking these two guys. They could have been under his control for a while. Okay, fine. Clearly there was some memory wipe stuff.
Yeah, it gives you that context a little bit after that scene, like in interrogation. It's like, oh, okay, I guess. I feel like as the viewer, you had to make a lot of leaps and jumps to get to that conclusion instead of like being told or shown in any capacity.
Yeah, there was also like just I remember now, because the concept was he was going to hack these truck drivers to run over run over the lady scientist's car. She's trying to get away. What I don't understand is why he knew it would be like that specific truck in that specific location on that route. Like, how far in advance did he plan this? Is really where the logic begins to fall off, because all of this whole, like the truck drivers and the whole cyber hacking a person. Again, this whole thing is one big reference to the original movie, where it is a spree of the super class A hacker is targeting certain diplomats and dignitaries, and they are targeting the people around them. They're closing the net. And so we're trying to find this guy called the Puppet Master. And so clearly this is a big old reference to that Puppet Master villain.
Dear Lord, I need to watch this. Yeah, because it's such a better plot. It's like, okay, yeah, I wanted to see more of the hacking people's minds. That's interesting.
But the concept is the whole setup for that action scene in the original film is supposed to be, okay, we finally tracked down the guy that's giving this information. He's manipulating this poor garbage truck guy. Like, the garbage truck guy is completely innocent in all of this. He's just given this packet, and his like this sob story of, my wife's cheating on me, so I am running this script to this guy. This nice guy at a bar gave me a card.
Yeah, exactly. It's all it is.
The whole thing is they're tracking down, said nice guy from the bar. The actual guy that they're chasing down that has the minigun is, this is a known criminal. And then there's other things going on. The Puppet Master is always one step ahead of them. So even then, like, it's a chain of cyber hacked people who are being fed false realities. For these truckers to just suddenly spawn guns, it was like the most, like you said, this is just the most Cyberpunk 2077 thing. Like, they need guns so we can have an excuse to beat the ever-loving crap out of them. excessive force much?
Yeah, right. Now, suddenly firearms, therefore unload everything, level everything. I mean, it led to the cool water scene, but still.
Yeah, and again, that's an iconic scene from the first movie, and you can obviously tell like the guy's on wires.
Oh yeah,
and so he's just like floating and things. Like again, everybody was during the original movie was playing like Virtua Fighter, so they were like, we want to put a Virtua Fighter reference in our movie, and so it just looks so much better in animation. I will just have to say that. Like, gosh.
Oh yeah, as soon as he ran out, I'm like, oh, okay, so we have a set piece here. Okay, so
yeah, the Yakuza Club was also like a choice. Like, okay, I don't remember what tipped them off. I think they just saw, or actually, I think it was because she was asking about like a back room because it was Kuze's hideout.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, my friend had work done here, and it was like, yeah, no,
yeah, just
that's a red flag.
Obvious. Yeah, but then even what I something that I didn't notice the first time, because even when the scene is secure, Bato still like just casually ices one of these guys. Like you have other police in the club room, and there's like one struggling, I'm hurt, help me, and Bato just blam, just takes his face off. I was like, holy crap, dude, like he does not do that.
You're telling me that was a complete audible of the movie, just like, oh yeah, this character is now blowing heads off like it's no big deal?
Yeah, he's not like, because again, these are still generally trying to take people into custody, but no, like Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence, the sequel, one of my favorite scenes is like Bato and Togusa, they team up a lot during that movie. And one of the leads takes them to a Yakuza club hangout. And Togusa's like, why are you packing the big gun? I just want to talk to him. Yeah, but Bato, why are you packing the big gun? We're going to a Yakuza nest. I promise. I'm just going to talk to him. And he walks in, says, I need to talk to your boss. The Yakuza start pulling guns, and he immediately pulls out the big gun and cleans out the entire, like it turns into a massive firefight. And like Bato's like holding a minigun, and he just gosh. He just cleans up the shop. It's one of those, like, Bato basically says, hello, pulls out the gun. And just ices the entire thing. I'm just like, so Bato is not above going like ice cold, but this...
that's awesome.
For all the kind of like, he was kind of like wisecracking and kind of like dad jokes and just always kind of like, but he was always Major's ride or die. Did that kind of come across a little bit?
Oh yeah, that came across clear as day, at least. And you are clearly the second main character in this. Got it. All right. Yeah, I think they wrote him fairly well in this movie based on, once again, zero context. I was like, all right, you're not the worst character I've seen written. So I'm like, okay, I was fine with him.
Yeah, as far as, because their relationship's always kind of been like that. He's clearly her second in command. Sometimes they're not romantically involved, but you can tell he's got some feelings for her. But again, they're both professionals, dangerous line of work. And again, she's a full robot. She doesn't have any of the bits.
Yeah, also there's that part of it. So it's like, okay, what are you going to do if this opportunity arises? It was kind of refreshing in a way for not to be just hammered over the head with like the romantic angle too. Because I was kind of worried with this being live action and having Hollywood money that I would have Hollywood ideas of like, oh, now we need to have like the 20-minute love story of why these two can't be together or whatever. I was waiting for that, waiting for the shoe to drop, and I'm glad it didn't.
What did you so on that relationship with Bato and Motoko, as her name really is, but what did you think of the revelation with like Motoko and Kuze, which I don't have his other name down, but Takeshi.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was like, oh, trying to remember. Besides it being head over your head obvious this was going to happen, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, aside from that.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's not much else, unfortunately, because it's like, yeah, it was good. You could see it coming a mile away. As a viewer, I'm like, do you think I'm a moron? Like, do you not respect my time or intelligence for me not to think that for 1 second, yeah, of course, these two know each other after she has more than a 5-minute conversation with Kuze. You're like, oh yeah, there's clearly, you two know each other in some capacity. This is writing on the wall. The corporation is clearly evil. It was just so heavy-handed. Use the analogy, oh yeah, it had heavy brush strokes. They kicked the tub of paint over on this thing of like, here it is. Hope you catch it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're sneaky.
and all the total glitches of memory and things, which
oh my gosh, the glitches that are like, I am having these weird glitches. These clearly your memories, you idiot. Very obvious your memories.
yeah, but they always had her on that drug that kind of kept that persistent brain fog. So I can kind of justify that.
Yeah, second I saw the cat, and then it was like, oh, I'm going to take a drug so I don't see the cat. And it's like, oh, okay, this is clearly your memories that you're suppressing. I thought she was doing it on purpose. It was so heavy-handed at first, and then they were like, oh, no, it's for anti-rejection meds. I was like, oh, they think I'm an idiot. Great.
I'll just say this, like the absolute canon of Ghost in the Shell is like slippery anyways. Because
really?
the Mamoru Oshii, like those two movies are basically their own continuity. So you don't need to know anything about those movies to enjoy Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, which is its own continuity, basically the TV series.
So it's always been kind of gray and a little weird, is what you're saying, kind of.
Yeah, because like the manga has its own storyline as well. And again, the first movie is taking some, and obviously everything animated from Ghost in the Shell is taking different storylines from the original manga. But like the manga actually has a lot more comedy than you would think. It just happens to be that all of the animated, it's got some, like they'll go like full on, like, you know, when anime does like laughing, or they're trying to do like the funny stuff, and like the characters will break model or like go chibi or like make some kind of weird face. Like that's clearly what happens in the manga, but also like serious stuff is happening as well. It's like a quintessential 80s sci-fi action, and then like the comedy is there. So if you look at anything animated, it's always been like serious. So like they're obviously going for the serious angle here. And so it's not like there's a canon, this is this, and this. You can think of like closer to like Batman, you know, different incarnations of Batman, Superman, your DC characters, whatever.
Gotcha.
So I think the idea of having her origin possibly be nefarious and then overcoming that and becoming something greater despite, you know, having this, and rebelling against the creators and finding her own identity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who am I?
Yeah, who am I? Which again, that is the first movie of who am I? What am I put here to do? Am I just a machine? You know, what if all of my memories, you know, because all of these puppet master and the fabricated memories in these victims, she's like, what if that's just my entire reality? What if I'm just a killing machine?
Yeah, because they show like her thoughts, all her mind, everything in her mind is translated into straight up writable code. Yeah, so it's like, of course it can be altered.
Yeah, and Cutter, it literally calls her a weapon. Like he literally does not see her as a human.
No.
And that's like the central conflict of the first movie is like, okay, I'm a human because people see me and they treat me as a human, but what if that were to change? So it's a really interesting philosophical question, which also brings a thing of like, what am I here to do? So when there is a decision that is given to her, you know, Kuze says, hey, escape into my network. We can become something beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
And she rejects that. So I'm curious to see what you might think after, if you go watch the 1995 film and kind of see her journey through there.
Oh, I'm going to, without a doubt.
All of that to say is like, I think the idea could have worked. It's just so heavy-handed and clunky.
Yeah.
And then they just kept adding on this other stuff that it kept undercutting itself. It kept undermining its own lesson.
Yeah, it really did.
We had to bad corporation evil, so we have to tie up that loose end, and that kind of dominates the rest of the film.
Yeah, it really did. It was like, okay, yeah, escape into my network. I'm like, okay, let's hear more about this. It's like, no, okay. And it's like, we don't get any follow-up. We don't know how that went for him, nothing. I was expecting to hear something of like, I don't know. I was expecting more, and it was just like, no, we're not doing the network thing. Let's focus on the evil corporation being dead.
But I mean, we did get a cool spider tank fight.
Did we get a cool spider tank fight, or did we get a spider tank showed up and explosions?
I mean, that's a cool fight.
It was cool.
The spider tank turned up, and then it was like, all right, call Michael Bay. We're just going to blow up everything. Okay,
her gun making an M1 Grand reload, like the mag shooting out. I was like, what the hell? And in the 11th hour, I'm like completely disconnected from this movie of like, why did we choose this? Okay. Like cyberpunk gun the size of like your entire wingspan, and it has the same reload sound effect as like a World War I rifle. I'm like, okay, cool. It dislodged me. But yeah, it was just run in a circle, explosions, and land on the spider tank. I mean, seeing her rip her body apart to like destroy it was kind of sick. I'll admit that.
The whole time I'm watching that, I'm just kind of going like, man, I really just want to watch the 95
Oh, yeah, because of course.
Like they did this so much better.
Yeah, running around circle as CGI Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, oh God. She looks like Play-Doh running around. Great. Awesome.
She was able to take it down, so there was no need to get a big gun. Although Saito taking out a helicopter with a single sniper shot.
What the heck was that?
I just think this is the greatest sniper in the history. I mean, I don't know what else to say. He just like, okay, he's on scene, and I guess there was enough of a ruckus or, well, no, she was on the network, so everybody knew where she was because that's how she got Cutter to track her down. So obviously Section 9 was still going, but the whole thing of, again, Section 9 is apparently this team. We don't really know what they do. Their entire investigation's been, we're going up against Harada.
Oh,
but I thought there'd be this whole team up with them. Or like, isn't Harada lending her out? So what is her employment status exactly?
I was so
why is she
confused
so
by
integral? Because clearly you guys have been around.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you keep referring to how much of a team they are, because, you have source material. That did not come across on a blind watch. I was like, a team of people, because it's like referenced at the beginning, and not until that sniper shot at the end, I feel like, until it's like, oh, yeah, right, group of people. They're not just mercs. They're a close-knit team that actually works together on a regular basis. Like, I completely forgot they were at a legit team in, like, the Yakuza club. I literally thought it was just her and Bata.
Togusa wasn't in there. In fact, Togusa was, like, spent most of the movie off screen. He had, like, a couple of things where basically he does a lot of investigation off screen. Okay, cool. Then we just check back in on him. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But the whole thing of, like, okay, so this corporation can just... is so evil and they're so capable that like they sent out a hit squad to eliminate Section 9 because they all know the truth. So it's, tie up loose ends.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you realize like if you do this, the entire government's going to come down on you or like try and do it quiet. Like, it's just so weird.
This old Japanese man has been monologuing of like, I'm going to tell the prime minister what you're doing. No. It's like, okay, but you're still going to take them out. So they're going to know. Yeah, clearly the government has an eye on you. You're screwed. Why would you do this?
Or it's just like, I don't know who else you're going to buy off after this or how you think you're going to like you continue this project. The whole thing is just like, okay, so the evil Cutter man just goes full burn it all down at the end of the movie because
he does.
We got to have this massive shootout. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. Well, this is only my second time or maybe third watching the film all the way through. But I still laugh my butt off every time Takeshi's in the car. He's like, all right, guys, we're all burned. You're on your own. Good luck. And he's got a hit squad coming after him. I want to know what that suitcase is made of.
Right.
Because him stumbling out of the car. It's like, oh, God, I get the one leg in front of the other and then stepping up. It's like there's no recoil from these clearly high-powered guns. But he just like clearly just pops these guys, like just one taps all of these guys. And then there's one guy who, again, he's struggling on the ground. And Takeshi's like, here's the last bullet, bitch. Boom.
Yeah,
and it just empties his 6-shooter on the guy's corpse. It's like, Jesus, Aramaki is cold. Because I'll tell you right now, Aramaki with a gun never happens. He doesn't.
Oh, really?
He never uses a gun. He's the old man in the chair. He's the old man that does all the political stuff. He's been in a scrap before, but Aramaki is not the guy in the shootout.
I am typically a fan of the old fox that's done it for years character, but like never has to pull out the heavy guns until it's absolutely necessary. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the fact that like, hey, I only pull out this gun to literally end everything. It was kind of awesome.
And it's super cool because there are moments where, again, Aramaki is in a scrap, but he's always using his brains to help out. Like there's a time where like a
situations.
Bank. Yeah, there's like an episode featuring him where like a bank is being robbed, but then these guys are trying to get out of the Yakuza, but all of the police and things are in the Yakuza's pockets. So it ends up being like Aramaki is working with the bank robbers so that they all don't get killed because the police guys are about to charge in and, eliminate the evidence. And they all survive by, finding a cool hiding place. And Aramaki, you mentioned the gray fox. Aramaki is a gray fox. Dude gets around.
Awesome.
It's a lot of implications where like a nice, like a lot of pretty ladies who are attached to Aramaki. Even the major will you can tell, even the major enjoys hanging out with him because he's just a classic, he's just a classic gentleman. So sometimes they'll just go like, oh yeah, the boss and I are on a date. Cool. And it's like completely platonic, but they're just both enjoying each other's company.
A man that put 99 points into charisma and nothing else.
Well, he min-maxed charisma and intelligence. Yeah.
Intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly he's been around. It's like just an old military man. So there's not enough time to see him do any of his political wheeling and dealing. And
not in this. Yeah. It's all off screen in this. As someone that enjoys watching anime and this world, it's and I know, watching this, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is obviously inferior, worst way to watch this. But I'm like, okay, so if I reverse engineer this, that's probably really cool in the source material, I have a feeling, even though it sucked here. That happened 5 or 6 times throughout watching this. And I was it was a weird thought process to have because I don't think I've ever had it.
This is an ambitious film. Clearly a lot was put in, and there are good moments, but again, just keeps shooting itself in the foot, so to speak.
Oh
but
my gosh.
It's not like a live action Ghost in the Shell or a live action anime adaptation is impossible. Clearly we've had some good examples, but I mean, this was still in the era where
Dragon Ball Evolution. It was so good.
Sure. Dragon Ball Evolution, Avatar: The Last Airbender, other things like Assassin's Creed the movie, because it was also Tomb Raider the movie, and so this was very much Uncharted, Uncharted. So there's clearly this has been done before, and it's we used to be in this space with the comic book movies as well, Daredevil, Blade, and all this other stuff. So clearly we've been here before, and things are looking better,
Yeah.
The One Piece live action, I think a live action Ghost in the Shell could work.
It probably could.
Cowboy Bebop was also supposed to be this slam dunk for a live action deal. And it's a lot of the same issues that I have with this is the Cowboy Bebop live action. So it can work, but it just didn't this time. They didn't quite get it right. And just too many cooks in the kitchen and just
oh, I'm sure.
It just feels, like I said at the top, it just feels like a bundle of references. And then, to me, it feels like a bundle of references because I was just the whole time I'm doing Leonardo DiCaprio. I got that one. For me, that was the experience of this movie. But then it was oh yeah, we have to have an original plot. And so it's okay, we just got to scrounge something up.
Did they, though? That's my biggest rub. It's just if you're doing a live action adaptation, I feel like people want you to stay as true to it as to form, and we're talking minor change to the plot maybe to make it unique, not a complete turn it on its head. I don't even know what this was abomination, because it just feels so forced, so Hollywood, so manufactured watching this. I don't know, it just like you were saying it too, it's just it just nothing clicked right. Everything was close, but it just didn't all fit together. Throughout all of this, it's it was blurry. It was all over the place. But do you feel like Scarlett Johansson was the right choice for this? Because I have my thoughts, but I'm curious because I don't know what the actual character's like. And maybe that's some disconnect I might have. But how do you think her portrayal was of the Major?
I'll say this: it was very wooden.
Okay, so that's not how the character actually is. It's not milquetoast.
No, she's not milquetoast. She is, she is take charge. The Major is the leader of the squad, so she has the confidence and the charisma. She's always the one barking out orders.
So she actually talks like a human normally.
Yeah, I mean the movies are more Aramaki is more the one calling the shots, but then the Major is calling the shots in the field. Aramaki is the 1,000-foot view, and Major is executing the tactics. And she's got more of the attitude there. Of course, the standalone complex, you got the voice of Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, who's just queen. And so always taking charge, always the wide range of expression. The Japanese actress Atsuko Tanaka, rest in peace. She always has like very, very take charge, very going through. And again, in the manga, Major is goofy. She's just doing all kinds of just stuff, but always the take charge, badass in charge, head lady. There's a wide range of expression. There's so many things you can do, but I feel like Scarlet was just like given the direction of just
you're
be
a
very
robot.
straight. Yeah, you're a robot, so you need to be robotic. Even when like there are moments of like, okay, is she supposed to like? She's just found out that her entire existence is a lie. So
Yeah.
Look at the screen, and it's just a blank stare.
Yeah, you have met your mother actually that you didn't know you had, and it's just complete deadpan tone, and I'm like, okay, is this just like poor acting direction, or is the character like so confused about humanity or I'm a robot that it comes across as standoffish? I'm like, I have no clue which is going on, but I'm not enjoying myself.
She had the same expression on her face meeting her mother as she did when she was meeting the hooker.
Yep.
when she took the lady of the night to her apartment of like, I need to feel human skin. Which is just such an awkward,
Weird
one of the
as
most
hell.
awkward things. It just came off, like I understand what they were trying to go for,
Yeah.
but it just came off as just weird and like just creepy.
The hooker seemed creeped out for Pete's sake. Like, oh God, what the hell are you? What are you doing? Why am I doing this?
Yeah, it was just so weird, and that was them basically going like, "Oh yeah, the Major's not even sure if she's a man or a woman, or she just found the first person on a street." Yeah, I think she was even like just walking in the rain, just supposed to be all depressed and stuff. But the whole time she has the same expression on her face.
I know. I was like, what the heck?
I was looking at the casting stuff, and Margot Robbie was actually in talks to be the Major at one point.
Yeah.
But she got pulled away for Suicide Squad. So who really got the worst end of the deal between these two?
Yeah. Right.
Scarlet just came off as like it came to the point that I was watching the movie because of Bato. I was watching the movie because Pilo was just putting on a show.
Yeah, he really was. I was impressed, and I was just like, I want more of him because this is doing nothing for me.
And I kept watching out for Togasa because again in the series and the movie, the sequel movie of Innocence, it's the Bato and Togasa movie. It's not really about the Major. It's about Bato and Togasa, and they get teamed up regularly.
Every time you're referencing back to more characters besides the Major and Bato, I'm like, oh yeah, right. Like
they exist.
I have zero concept, and I'm just like, oh wow, yeah, this movie really did need more characters. But they had them, they just did nothing, apparently. See, I get scaling it back for the movie releases, but not to the point where it's like there are 3 characters in this movie.
Well, the thing is, they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, because again, you had these other characters, but I'm telling you, this Borma guy literally doesn't do anything. Like, he shows up, he may be in a firefight, or like he may be on, I don't even remember if he was on scene to arrest the, the garbage truck guys. I don't even think he was there for that. Like, I really think he just had one scene. Like, you had these other background characters. I think they also just really underutilized Chin Han. Like, you could have had him do so much more. But no, you just had him do the bare minimum with the rest of your cast.
Yeah.
Kuze is also a reference. He's an existing character. So as soon as they said Kuze, I was like, okay, he's a rebel.
Up.
Yeah, my ears perked up, and I went, okay, I know exactly how this is going to play out. On top of the Major is not, real. So as soon as they were like, oh, your name is Motoko. Yeah, as soon as I was like, because the whole time I remember sitting in the theater going, oh, her name's not Mira Killian. Like, something's up here.
Yeah,
like, this is not her name. And then as soon as they were like whispering Motoko and her mother was saying the name, I was like, oh, okay, this is what I thought at the beginning of the film was what's going on.
Yeah, see, I clocked that something was going on right away for different reasons. You were like, oh, name drop. Oh, that's totally not right. And we're going specifically here. We're going to turn left in 400 feet, turn right here, and yep, this is where we are. Okay.
Pretty much that's how it was in the theater, and that's about how it was in this one.
That sucks.
The ideas were there, but again, this movie was just a cluster truck.
Oh my god, yeah, it was rough watch, and I don't know. We beat a dead horse on saying how bad this movie is, I feel like, too, at the same breath. Like, I don't think I can reiterate how many times I've said, like, yeah, this sucked.
At the very least, I can tell you, you can go nowhere but up.
You know, I did know that, at least watching this. I'm like, okay, at least everything I know that I'm going to ingest now after this is going to be far more enjoyable than this was. So there's that.
But to actually wrap this up, so again, I thank you for so much for being a trooper and sticking out with this. And I'll give you a general watch order here.
I'm literally opening up a note. I'm ready.
You can watch Ghost in the Shell 1995. That's the first one. I don't recall where exactly Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence is on streaming. I'll just have to reference back to my old episode notes. But you can probably find it, but it's not required watching. It's a sequel, but it's like it is a direct sequel, but it's kind of a film that's like more in conversation with Ghost in the Shell rather than like he didn't leave any like loose threads for like, oh yeah, we're totally coming back to this, guys. He intended that first movie to be its own experience. So Innocence, if you can find it, cool. But the main thing, and of course my favorite anime series, and the one anime that I'm reviewing this month for real, guys, in April, is Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. That is the TV series. It's 52 episodes of just cyberpunk goodness. Season 1 is a villain called the Laughing Man, and then season 2 introduces Kuze.
Nice.
They'll do this thing of we have the villains going through, like the main storyline is what they're called. And then you have standalone episodes. So most of season 1 is like a bunch of standalone episodes where you do get to learn more about Togasa, Bato, Saito, Borma, all these other guys. Well, you don't learn more about Borma, but you do learn more about Section 9 and the kind of day-to-day crimes that they investigate.
And that's what I want.
Yeah, that's your police procedural. And then you have the complex episodes, which are, here's our main storylines. That's for both seasons.
Sweet.
It has a movie called Solid State Society. So it's set a couple of years after season 2. So it's a movie. Last and kind of least, if you want, you can stop right there. But then in the 2010s, they did this classic thing of, when like you have a classic franchise and it's like, we're going to do a reboot project. And it's going to be totally a reboot thing, or it's going to be a reboot / prequel.
Oh,
so it's one of those.
Dave, do I really want to watch this? This sounds like a bad idea written all over it.
It has its rough patches, but I will say when it was all out, when it was all said and done, I will say Ghost in the Shell. It's called Ghost in the Shell Arise, and it is it's what's called an OVA series, original video animation. So it's 4 episodes, but each episode is an hour. And then they said Ghost in the Shell, the new movie, is 2016, and that wraps it all up. But yeah, Ghost in the Shell Arise was something like, it had been almost a decade since the last Ghost in the Shell anything. And so I did kind of Stockholm my syndrome. I did kind of Stockholm syndrome myself into appreciating Ghost in the Shell Arise.
Yeah, you were just starving. Got it.
Yeah, I was just starving, and it really does have some interesting things to say. It really does. Okay. But what it ended up being, like, it started off as like, we're going to reboot, prequel, here's how it all happened. Again, it's a different continuity, so you don't have to worry about anything else.
We'll see how hungry I am after all the other recommendations, and I'll be like, do I need more? Do I want more? Or am I content with my happy little package here?
Yeah. And if you see something, and if you see possibly a listing for something like Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045, Season 3 to Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, in my revisionist history head, that show does not exist. It is a 3D CG nightmare. I do not like it.
Oh, okay.
If you thought the CG in this movie was bad, brother.
Oh, no, that stuff hurts me.
I was very angry. So for me, Ghost in the Shell peaked at Standalone Complex. That's
got it.
And that's why I'm so excited for this 2026 anime. Because brother, it's been 20 years. I need a W.
Yeah, clearly.
So franchise isn't dead yet.
Which is impressive.
Fingers, eyes, toes, everything else crossed for Ghost in the Shell 2026.
I hope this doesn't hurt you, Dave. I hope this doesn't hurt.
Well, Samurai Troopers 2026 hurt me deeply, so I am a little bit of a jaded fan right now. But yeah, that is my general watch order for Ghost in the Shell. So we'll see. Just kind of pace it out. And yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts on your journey, off screen. We don't have to get behind a camera or a microphone or anything, but I really do hope you enjoy it. I think
I will.
I think you'll like it. I don't know if it'll become like your favorite thing ever, because I love cyberpunk. I love police procedural stuff. So Ghost in the Shell is like speaking my love language.
Oh yeah,
I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're into cyberpunk, this is it. Yeah, for sure.
So thank you for going on this journey with me.
Of course. It was something.
Happy April Fools. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience before we sign off?
If you don't mind if I shamefully plug my stuff.
That's what I was hoping.
Okay, perfect. So, if you haven't heard me on the show before, because it has been a minute, but my name is Joe. I am part of the Retrotopia podcast group. I host a show on there called Retro Bites once a month with Brian, who is also a main host on the main show. And we just revived that show at the beginning of this year, where it's just a lot more freewheeling and dealing. Me and Brian have conversations, typically video game related, and honestly, we just kind of talk generally about life. It's been a lot of fun. We've been seeing some growth, which is always good, and appreciate you guys. But if you're looking to check out everything we do, you can find us over on our linktree. That's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. There you'll find a link to the Discord, be able to hear the main show, Retrotopia, Retro Bites. We do have a Patreon. Not going to show that. I'm not going to go there. But that'll get you access to a couple more things too if you're interested. But yeah, if you enjoyed hearing me ramble on about a really bad movie, I'm over there. You can check us out.
Yeah, definitely check out the Retrotopia podcast. Obviously, we had Joe on for episode 2, Shangri-La Frontier, which is not a disaster of an anime. And we're getting to season 3 next year, baby.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me either.
Brutal cliffhanger. But yeah, we had a great time with Shangri-La Frontier. That was our episode 2. In episode 5, we had the other 2 hosts of Retrotopia, Sam and Brian, joined me for Samurai Pizza Cats. And previously on the Treehouse Anime Club, we had them on for Super Mario Brothers and anime.
Yeah.
So a lot of crossover with the Retrotopia crew, good friends of the show, and fellow podcast in orbit. There's not a terrible amount of overlap between the anime that I cover and like some of the video games, but we all make it work.
Oh yeah.
And I've been on enough retro retro gaming podcasts to almost have it be like it was like this close to a genre pivot as I was joking on something else. But yeah, definitely check out Retrotopia. It's a good time, especially if you just like a good crew of guys from a wide range of locations.
Oh yeah, we're all over the place.
Lifestyles and life experiences. It's just a magical way, like how all 4 of you guys just created this little thing. Well, the 3 of you, and then the 3 of them, and then Joe.
Yep.
Weaseled his way into it.
Oh yeah, how I showed up is very weird. There's an entire backstory of that, though. If you check it out, I will not get into here. Play Mario Kart. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, if you listen to Retrotopia, you can experience all this deep lore for yourself.
Oh yeah.
I may or may not have had a small hand in shaping said deep lore. Did. Yes. So it's been a wonderful, wild, and crazy journey between all of us and our other mutual friends. So on that note, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the Anime Field Guide. Happy April Fools, and I will see you guys on the main show for Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex and whichever studio rundown I happen to be publishing at the time, because I have no idea what I'm publishing at this moment. Look forward to all of that. And with that, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show. Stay safe. And like always, watch more cartoons.